Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mingle here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live. My name is Gabe Gonzales. I'm your MJH Liaison. With me, as always, is Barbara Chase, our family and student support counselor. Hello, Barbara. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. So glad to see everybody here. As you can see from our window, we have a special guest with us here today, Mr. Luis Fernandez, and we will get to him in just a couple of minutes because first, we want to remind everybody about the Coyote and Lobo Pact. So we have a shared responsibility to make sure that we are taking the steps that we need to minimize the spread of COVID-19 infections in our campuses and in our community. And so we want to just reemphasize, we do it every week, but we just want to reemphasize that every member, every child, every parent, every staff, every member of our Coyote and Lobo community must do their part. And so those parts include making sure that you wear a face covering, make sure you have your mask on, whenever you're at school, at the store, with people who don't live in your household. Make sure you keep your distance. That 6 feet is really, really important. Make sure that you're washing your hands using your hand sanitizer. And also check yourself. If you're not feeling well, we want you to get better, whether it's allergies or flu or cold or, hopefully not COVID, but we want to make sure that you are feeling well. And if you're not, then stay home and get yourself well. Pay attention to your body. That is the most important because we do want to see you here and we want to see you out in the community, but you have to take care of yourself first, and that will help you take care of others.
Yes, thank you for that, Barbara. That's very true. I never thought I'd be excited about buying hand sanitizer. I got a new one the other day and it smelled good, so I was excited about that. But yeah, moving on. We do have iPads, everybody does. And if you have any issues with that, remember, you can always email ipad@uvaldecisd.net. Again, it's ipad@uvaldecisd.net. If you're at home, if you're here on campus, which I'm excited about, we got to see some beautiful faces here this week. But if you have issues with it, please send us an email at ipad@uvaldecisd.net.
Yes, and I know that the incredible video that Mrs. Menchaca has put together about cleaning our iPads and making sure that they stay clean as well, that's important, germs, dirt, dust, all that stuff, is on our website. And I know that there have been links to it. So if you're in need of a refresher about how to make your own sanitizing spray for your iPad, check out that quick video that Mrs. Menchaca did. Real quickly, before we get to our special guest, I just wanted to mention that this week is one of the weeks that we have our ADHD parent support group meeting. So tomorrow at 6:00, we will be meeting virtually. What our topic this week is about nutrition and what foods may be better for helping with some of the ADHD symptoms and things like that. Also, if you have a picky eater, because sometimes that, with different food textures and things, that can affect our kiddos' appetites. So tune in tomorrow. If you're interested, please, and you're not already on our list of people who received the email invite, please make sure you reach out to either one of the ACE coordinators or parent liaisons on your campus. Get them your email, and I will send you an email tomorrow afternoon and hopefully see you at 6:00.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Barbara. And with moving on here, so we want to welcome this special guest that we have here. It's a gentleman I've known for a while and worked with on some previous boards and stuff like that. Mr. Luis Fernandez. He is the UCISD School Board Vice President. Welcome, Luis. Thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate that, and it's good to hear from you. How's it going? How's everything going?
Thank you, Gabe. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, Mr. Torres, Mr. Chase. Thank you so much for having me on the Morales Mingle. It's a great program that you have, and so very honored and pleased to be a part of it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before we kick on to the other questions, I do have to ask you a question about that Lakers lanyard that you have in the background right there. I don't know. Maybe we need to take that down or something before we continue the show or something. But I'll just give it.
They always that is one thing that always defines me, though. That's my defining thing, the Laker fan. any Spurs world. So it's always
Yeah.
a great conversation starter as well.
There you go. There you go.
That is funny. I'm just kidding, though. I mean, I respect the Lakers and congratulations on the championship. But moving on, though, onto the real important stuff, though, is what motivated you to become a school board member when you decided to throw your name in the hat so many years ago? Or
I've asked myself that question a lot, but the other thing I could always come back to is just how education has been basically my life. I graduated back in 2000, so I'm kind of aging myself there a little bit, and just started going to college since then. And I've never really, the more I think about it, I don't think I've ever taken a break from education since then. But education provided a lot of opportunities for me. It gave me an identity. It has basically made me who I am today. And so this was my way to provide the experiences I've gained, the knowledge I've gained throughout my career in education, and be able to share that with the local school district here. That will definitely help our students become great students out there and great future employees of different employers.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is great. And so Mr. Fernandez, how long have you been serving on the school board?
So I completed 4 years, so I'm starting in my 5th year. I was reelected in November, and that was great to get that reelection bid again. So this is year number 5 that I have been serving, and this will be year 3 that I'll be serving as vice president as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And what have you learned in all of those years of service? What have you learned by serving?
I've learned a lot about just the structure of the board in its entirety. Working to. Knowing that it takes teamwork to move something forward. Right now, I'm currently in a doctoral program with UTSA, and my dissertation that I'm planning on doing, my topic is actually what they call school board governance. And basically, there's a lot of studies out there that show that bad boards can translate to low scores and accountability systems, but there's really not much information on if good boards translate to good scores and good districts. And so that's kind of been something that really has intrigued me, and so that is what I plan to do for my dissertation, for my doctorate degree, and learn more about how working as a team, what constitutes a good board, what trainings need to be done, because we can't just show up to our meetings and be ready to go. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that has to happen. TASB puts up a lot of workshops that we're able to take part of, and it really helps us because to know how far we can cross that line and when we're not supposed to cross the line, and how much we can provide assistance to our own employee, which is Dr. Harrell, and help him be a successful superintendent as well, that will then translate to a successful district.
Awesome. Can I just follow up with a real quick question? So I love that idea of how you're talking about a good board. And, of course that I'm sure to some people is subjective, but did you, like in preparation or even now, especially with all of the things that are facing our Texas student educational system and things like that, do you look to other school boards in other districts, maybe ones that are similar to Uvalde, or like what's some that you would deem successful, say in like some of the bigger cities, for not necessarily guidance, but to see like, hey, what are they doing? Maybe we can, replicate something like that here.
Yeah, and I'm now in year 16 of being in higher education with the Southwest Texas Junior College, and so I used to be the director of admissions registrar, and right now I'm a division chair for the business industry and technical studies. So that's always what I've done in my career, is always look at what other schools are doing. I'm a firm believer that we don't have to recreate the wheel every single time, that maybe somebody may be doing something that's maybe beneficial to us, but at the same time also look at what they're doing and then see if it fits with our area, because a lot of times what may work at a district, well, if it's working great there, but they have unlimited resources of money, well, it's going to work great there, but may not necessarily hit off the ground running here at our district. So it's like, okay, so I can steal that part of that area from that district, and then this piece from this other district, and then merge it together to make it our own here. And then of course, there's nothing like, thinking outside of the box and coming up with our ideas also to put, Uvalde on the map of, how can we be first as well? And I think a lot of these hybrid models that we can get from different schools that are similar to us, and not only with resources, but a student body, personnel, things of that sort, so that way it all works. Because then it clashes, because, we may say, Alamo Heights has this great program, we bring it over here, but, well, it doesn't fit the same student body, so it may or may not work the same way. So those are always keys to look at as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That explains it a lot.
Those are some great questions, Barbara. I really like those. And you doing your dissertation on that, I think that's pretty awesome too, because I've heard stories about boards and stuff, trying to do stuff and make deals and things like that, and it never works out for the school. So it's pretty cool to see that. So tell me, Luis, what are some of the roles and responsibilities of the board and the vice president?
So what us as a board is basically to, like I said, oversee our one employee, which is Dr. Harrell, our superintendent, make sure that we provide them with goals that are achievable and measurable, because, it's very easy to try to throw things like, well, we want you to fix this, or we want you to fix that, we want you to do this, but then that's day-to-day things, and it's always looking at it, how is it going to benefit the district as a whole, and not necessarily just do one thing because I like it, or because one of the other board members likes it, but because it's going to better the district as a whole. And as vice president, be there to be a second hand to our president, provide any assistance, any guidance, any help. And if they're not there, take the place. Last year, Mr. Flores, our president from last year, he had to step out for a personal matter. So I was able to run the meeting for him in his absence. So things that sort of what the vice president role is.
That's awesome. I love it.
So I just want to real quickly remind parents that, and anybody who's watching, community members, if you have any questions for Mr. Fernandez, to please go ahead and type them in the chat box there. We'd love to take your questions. And I don't think I've seen any yet. I know we've had a couple of people who have said hi and hello. And so hello to everybody who's tuning in and stuff like that. So if nobody has a question right now, then I'm going to ask Mr. Fernandez, what are some of the short-term and long-term goals of the UCISD board?
Well, we've really been talking, right before COVID, we were, and I guess this is kind of a medium term goal, but it's kind of both a short-term and long-term goal. But we did do a facility study. That was one thing that we did right before COVID hit last spring. And what our goal with that is, because we know we have a lot of aging campuses, Morales being one that I'm sure y'all are very aware of, needs some help. And so, we're doing a lot of great things on the curriculum side, a lot behind the scenes where, we're moving up. We went from the RF to a C, pretty close to that B. And I feel very confident that we would have hit that B had COVID not come through last spring. And so it's kind of things like, okay, now we need to fix the outside too. We look good on the inside, but our outside has to look good. It's got to be attractive to new students. We got the Dual Language Academy that's coming about as well. And so, we got great programs, but now we got to put the finishing touches on the outside. And what better way to attract students and to attract more ADA than having a state-of-the-art school and state-of-the-art areas, cafeterias, things of that sort that are happening. A lot of our neighboring districts, Crystal City, Carrizo, Hondo, all these have been growing and just upgrading a lot of their buildings. And so that's one thing that's kind of priority number one for us. And then, of course, number two, getting out of, and I guess most importantly, getting out of COVID, getting out of it and be able to move forward and pre-COVID things. And then continue that continued growth with our, advanced academics, with more STEM programs. Ms. Brewer, we're hearing great things that is happening with our college and career readiness. Our CCMR has made great gains. And, I think the last, Monday's board meeting, we got a quick report that, we're close or over $1 million in scholarships that our students have received as seniors. So that is also another thing we would like to continue to grow as short-term and long-term goals.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we've got a lot going on inside and now we're working on the outside. So yeah, making it more appealing to the eye, that like curb appeal, kind of a thing. So that's great to hear. I had no idea. That's great to hear that the board is looking into to those things. So cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that would be good too, because that also might attract more teachers coming in and looking at that we're improving our facilities and stuff like that too. So I think that's a positive thing. Yes. And but moving along here, so we don't run out of time here and not ask you all the questions that we want to ask you. But what program or services do you see UCISD offer to our students, parents, and community that you're aware of?
Well, the biggest one is, I'm going to say, and it's very exciting, is our dual language. Dr. Ferron has done a really great job expanding that program. And of course, thank you to those that started it way back when. My son, he's a 6th grader right now, and he was in the original starting group of the dual language program. And to see where it's grown to and what it's become to now, it's going to go all the way to 12th grade. I would definitely say that's a program that would be very beneficial to our students, our parents, and the community. And then we also have, we have the blended learning, which that has just taken off, and I think has put UCISD on the map. And it was kind of one of those blessings in disguise, because when Ms. Arias and her team, Dr. Zuniga, have put that together, COVID hit, and we were kind of just ready for it, and it's gone through, and we were kind of the trendsetters for that. And it's great that that's been able to happen. And then, of course, we have our culinary arts program, and culinary art, just because I barbecue on my free time, whatever little free time I got, as well. So food is always entertaining. So, and then, of course, we have the High School Barbecue Association, the High School Barbecue team that has been added to the high school. That my son, by the way, when he's freshman, he's eager to join. He keeps asking me he wants to join it. And of course, shout out to that team as well, because they hit first place at their meet that we had here in Uvalde in December. So congratulations to that, to our barbecue team for the high school barbecue for placing first place on that as well. Our CTE programs are continuing to grow. Really take advantage of those dual credit programs that we offer. Take advantage of the early college programs that we have as well. Early college has, been a great addition as well. This year will be the first year that we graduate that original cohort that started as a freshman. So we'll be having our first early college high school graduates this May. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, me and my wife were talking about, we wanted to put my son in that dual language program, and I think it'd be good for him, because it's something. If you look at every job posting, everything like that, it's always asking, Spanish preferred, or if it's a plus if you can speak a different language. So I think that's I'm really excited about that.
Yes,
most definitely. So my last question that I have, at least right now, anyways. So how would you recommend that parents become more involved? I mean, you're obviously, you're a parent, you're a school board member, but how can parents, what would you recommend ways for them to become more involved in the classroom, in their child's school, and in the district in general?
I would say just to, help us with a lot of the surveys that are coming out. UCISD has done a big push towards, social media, the use of social media. That's kind of where our avenues are for communication. So I would definitely recommend anybody that may know somebody that's not part of our, Uvalde apps or Schoology apps or, the Morales Mingle, things that sort of, they join, because there's a lot of good information that's coming out there, number one. Number two is, I think a lot of times we, as a district, have waited for the parents to tell us what they want. Like, well, what do you want? Well, now I don't know if we're going that way, or we're asking parents, what would you like for us to offer to help you become more involved? Because a lot of times, we may have some grandparents that are raising their grandchildren, and so they may not be as aware of all our social media aspects and technological aspects. So I would definitely tell them to not feel embarrassed to reach out to any one of us school board members, reach out to any of our administration. Come by the offices. I've learned, with the Chamber of Commerce, there's Uvalde is very old school when it comes to communication as well. And by old school, I mean they still like that, that handshake. They still like that personal letter, sentiment letter, something that comes in the mail. That is a lot of things that still happens here in Uvalde. And I learned that, like I said, being part of the Uvalde Chamber of Commerce as well, that there's still a lot of people that prefer that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll definitely recommend them to, be positive, bring us things, and I guess in a way, not just reach out when something's wrong, but maybe also reach out when things are going great and let us know that we're doing good things. Because we don't necessarily hear a lot of times when things are going great. We hear it when they're not going great. And so, but not that not to share that, because we do need to know that about as well. But the more they can provide that to us, the better we're going to make the district as a whole. And I talked about teamwork earlier. As a board, we have to work as a team, but also parents, the guardians, school teachers, students, we all got to work as a team and communicate in order for us to continue to get better and better. And Miss Field, hello, Miss Field. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome to see those comments on there, for sure. And Mr. Fernandez, we really appreciate it. Mr. T, you got anything for us?
Yes, sir. So again, Mr. Fernandez, on behalf of myself, Ms. Leal, and Mr. Escamilla, our principal, we just want to tell you, as well as all our other board members, thank you. It's, we take 1 month out of the year to thank you guys, but it's every day you all really put in the time and effort to make our school successful. And we've really benefited here at MJH from our one-to-one iPads to our dual language program kicking off this year. So again, it's that vision and that willingness to kind of just, like you said, experiment and be out of the box. And this is the Morales Mingle is a prime example of it. So again, on behalf of us, thank you. I do want to reiterate, like you said, how can parents become more involved? It's getting in contact with us, staying in touch. So again, I invite parents and guardians, even community members, to follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, Schoology. You can get text messages. We have a monthly newsletter. Sorry, that's our bell. We have weekly on Fridays. We have our MJH Moments of Success where we shout out our kids. So again, our goal as a campus administration, myself and the other AP and principal, is we want to talk to you. We want to stay connected. So again, we're here for you. So again, please get in touch with us, and we will serve you as best as possible. We're in that customer service business.
Yeah. Mr. Fernandez, once again, thank you very, very much for coming on here. We truly appreciate it. We thank you for being on the board and supporting us and being here with us today. We appreciate it. Yeah. And to everybody else out there. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just going to say, I know y'all are thanking me and y'all thank us board members, but thank y'all, especially this year. Unprecedented times, and y'all done a great job from top to bottom to top. Our bus drivers, or custodial group, or maintenance group, everybody's pitched in to make this a successful year for our students. So, it's funny, and I was thinking the other day, we have a board recognition month, but then we only have teacher appreciation week. I think we got to change that teacher appreciation week to more of a teacher appreciation month eventually. So, but thank you so much, especially this year. Thank you for having me. It's been great sharing with y'all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And for everybody else out there, we thank you for jumping on here. We thank you for your comments. And the best way you can help support us is by telling your friends about this, letting them know, inviting them to come into this and watch the program. You can watch it from your phone. You can watch it pretty much anywhere, and we appreciate that. But remember, the 3 places you can watch us for sure are Facebook Live, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Coyote Pride, and you can follow us on MJH Twitter, and then join us weekly Wednesday here at noon. And we look forward to seeing you, and we will have another guest next week, but it's a surprise, so I'm excited for it. And we'll hope to see you guys next week. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.